I'm I'm Winfried Diekman, and I'm the owner and the managing director of Aerosoft. I could say because all the developers are so nice people and who want to have some fun and party in Mallorca, but that's not true. Our main reason is to bring Explain, the idea of Explain, to all the developers which have never, not thought about Explain, but also to introduce our developers to Ben and Austin, so to the lead developing people at Laminar Research, to get a closer cooperation. I am very happy because the goal we had is reached. So many FSX developers are now thinking to do something for Explain within the next year. Yes, and the company was very nice. So we had nice evenings, hotel was nice, the weather was okay. So the whole event was a comfortable, nice event. At present, most of the new developers are coming to us. So if you do, for example, if you want to do a nice scenery, then you talk to other developers. And if those developers are already working with Aerosoft, they will recommend us, and then the developer also comes to us. But we are also looking, or some of our product managers are looking on the web or in freeware for new developers with interesting projects.
Okay.
Why simulation? First, if you want to spread out of your niche a little bit, then it's not good to go to the opposite of the market. So to shooters or to pony games for children or whatever.
Yes.
The easiest and the most logical way is to go to something which is close, where you can use your experience, where the market is not too far away from your well-known market.
Yeah.
The reason to go away from flight simulation is that I have learned in the university that it is very risky to put everything on one into one market or on one horse.
Bet all your money on one horse.
Yeah. So it's always good to spread, to diversify a company. That's why we had the decision. We have made the decision 10 years ago to step into train simulation. I think the first interesting moment was our first Berlin Air Show in '92 with our own stand, and we showed our first products. We had our first hardware nearly finished.
Yeah.
That was really an exciting experience. Yes, the movement into the new building was also exciting, but okay, it was a new office, and offices are normally not so exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting for me was my first international experience in flight simulation. It was in Dallas, I think 1995, Micro Wings conference. It's interesting. I met Austin there for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was an international flight conference.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting.
Okay.
I don't think in what will be in 20 years, because nobody will can imagine what will be in 20 years. But I expect that Aerosoft still in 5 years, for example, will do most of its business in flight simulation.
Okay.
We have just started to set up the fundamental things for the future. We have another managing director who is much younger than me, so
Yeah.
and who is coming more from the gaming side, from the sales side.
Yeah.
But we have also some very young people here which are coming from the flying side, which have private pilot license, or which are working on their private pilot license.
Yeah.
So we have experience from both sides, and I'm pretty sure in 5 years we still will be alive. Yes. First of all, I think it was bad decision for Microsoft not to stay on their concept. So to give the community every 3 years, for example, a new simulator.
Yeah.
Because if you have more than 3 years period between simulators, customers will have a huge amount of add-ons. That means a huge amount of money, and they are very, very familiar with this simulator. So it's much harder to get them to move into a new one. We have seen that with Flight Sim 2004, because between Flight Sim X and Flight Sim 2004 there were, I think, more than 3 years, and it was really hard to get people from FS9 to FS10. And yes, it is not good to have no competitors, because after 2009, when Microsoft decided to stop the program, Microsoft stopped immediately all marketing and PR activities.
Yes.
So the years before, Microsoft has done the general public marketing, and we have done more or less the community marketing mainly.
Yeah.
So we have tried to get Aerosoft into the community, also to get people from other communities into Flight Sim. And Microsoft has tried to get young people into Flight Sim. Without Microsoft, the whole work was at Aerosoft, and that means we had to spend a lot of money, much more money into marketing than before, without knowing if there will be a future for for flight simulation. So for X-Plane it is good, because now people are talking about X-Plane. X-Plane is in the focus of interest, and that's really good for X-Plane.
Yeah. Okay.
The overlapping between flight simulation and train simulation is not very big.
Okay.
So there are some flight simulation people which are interested in model train, but model train people are normally not the customers for train simulation. Train simulation customers are spotters, so people which are looking for trains, interested in trains and so on. It's the same in flight simulation. People which do modeling aircraft are not so much interested in flight simulation. I think other simulations are more interesting, like Farming Simulator, for example, a very successful game in Europe in the last 2 years. mainly used by young boys between 8 and 13 or 14 years. In Germany, they have sold 500,000 copies of that game. So we have 500,000 young kids playing on a PC with a simulator. These 500 kids are not playing on a console with an ego shooter or whatever. So the first step is done. They have a PC. They use a PC as a gaming machine, and they are interested in simulation, not so much in shooting. So I think that's a good base for us to get new customers into flight simulation, perhaps a few years after they have bought a farming simulator.
Okay. All right.
We are the exclusive distributor for Explain Global, for the full version in Europe.
Okay.
More or less worldwide in distribution things. Austin is selling directly to customers, and Austin will very soon get our global version with the airport, additional airports and so on, also for his customers.
Okay.
So there will be in a few weeks only one explained version worldwide on the market with our airports and all the updates and so on, which is sold by Laminar Research and Aerosoft.
Okay. All right. I think that is it. That is it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Is there something that?
Are you sure? Yes, it's a totally different way. Microsoft, it was always very difficult to get information out of Microsoft or to get contact. Even Aerosoft, as a more or less the biggest content developer, was in Europe, far away from Seattle, and so also far away from the developers. It's much easier for us to work with Laminar Research, but it was not a surprise to me, because normally a game company, a studio, I would call it, is open to customers and to third-party people, because they have an interest to get add-ons. And for Explain, for example, I think Laminar Research, perhaps if Explain will really grow in the next time, Austin and Ben will not be able to handle that. Perhaps they have to employ someone only to help third-party developers.
Yeah.
And that's quite normal for us, because we have also internally a few people which are specialized in helping our developers to do things and to give tools to them, or to talk with them about new techniques and I think there are a few reasons. One reason is Aerosoft is since 20 years in the market. Most of our developers have never moved to other companies. So we have a couple of developers working with us since 18 years, German Airport since 15 years, Simwing since 13 years or something like that. So they know they always get their money on time, they will get a professional install, they will have a support, which is very important. Not support to the developers only, but support for customers. So customers, most of the developers don't want to do the support with customers. And we have a professional support in 4 languages. So we handle it. Only if our support guys have no idea how to solve the problem, they will ask the developers, but not the customers directly. On the other hand, Aerosoft has a good distribution, a good marketing, it's well known, so and customers know, perhaps not the X-Plane customers so much, but flight sim customers know that Aerosoft has also a quality control. So before we publish a product, we have a few people looking into the product. And okay, there are differences. So we have products like PMDG, absolutely high-end. We have products like Wilco, which are below that, or our Airbus and so on. We have high-end sceneries like London Heathrow and sceneries which are a little bit below that. But we have a minimum level which is much higher than freeware. So that's important for us, that all the products must go above this step, this quality control, before we sell them to the customers.
Okay, clear. Seriously, the last question. What can the customers expect in 2012? Release-wise, I know it is difficult to say what will be, but maybe some things are absolutely certain.
I can tell you what we are planning to do.
Okay.
Now, so we are planning to release a good number of big airports. I hope we will get the airport of Zurich very soon, Munich, Paris.
This FSX?
FSX. Only for FSX now. Perhaps at the end of the year, Frankfurt, because Frankfurt has got a couple of new buildings and so on. We first have to do that. Same with London Heathrow. I hope at the end of the year we will have it too. Perhaps Amsterdam will come, of course. I hope we will also get Anchorage from Thorsten into X-Plane. We are thinking to do Stockholm, to have something for the Scandinavian people. Then, very soon we will release the CRJ 200 from Javier and Philippe in a box. What else is planned? We are testing and thinking about doing a scenery, a big area scenery, perhaps 2 or 3 European countries as a base, which is looking much more European than the default scenery with more individual objects and so on. That's one of our projects we have just started. We are trying at the moment to get our Airbus into X-Plane, another project. So there will be perhaps a few smaller aircraft. Flight Sim Commander, the developer, is working on a version which will work well with X-Plane 10. It's a little bit difficult because the 50% of the developers, so one of the team died 2 months ago, so it's hard for the other one to cover that. But I'm pretty sure we will get this product into the market this year. That's at the moment, and a few small airports. That's what is on our schedule.
Okay, all right. Well, while we talk, questions pop up into my mind, but I said that was going to be the last question, so we'll keep it at this. So, Winfried, thank you for your time. Thank you for having us. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Nice.
Wrap it.
Got it.
Okay.
Let's drink a beer.
Have you seen? It's not running. Let's do it again. Ah.